something that you didn't want out there.
Yeah.
So Friday morning, they
Friday morning, about 5 o'clock in the morning, I woke up hearing things banging around on my porch.
ooh.
And the wind was just horrible. And I was like, and so I just laid there worrying that they were going to try to go ahead and go.
Mm-hmm.
And my aunt Lavon called me and she said, just talk to your mom and they're still planning to come. But I told her the wind's supposed to get up to like 70 miles an hour. Um, and she said, when I told her that, she said, well, we're all packed.
Oh no.
Anyway, I called mom and I said, Mom, I said, I can't, you're a grown up. I can't tell you can't go, but I'm begging you not to. Well,
Mm-hmm.
after I got off the phone with her, and of course Lavon had already called her, then Darla called and she said, "Y'all, I really don't think y'all should go. The wind's supposed to be up to 80 in Lubbock. It's bad enough here." And anyway, they finally made the wise decision not to go.
Oh,
But I felt sorry for them. They were both kind of depressed because they wanted to go do something special to celebrate their
their
anniversary.
anniversary. Yep. Mm-hmm.
But they did
Hi,
not
Lisa.
need to be trying to walk even into a hotel
In that kind of
in
way.
this
Yeah,
weather.
we're a little concerned about our timeline. Hi Barbara. Hi Lisa. Um,
Hi, Lisa. Hi, Barbara.
oh, I should get the dates we're supposed to be there for you. I'll have to
Yeah, I
message you.
would like to know that.
We are not staying in town. Helen wanted to stay out at the reservoir, so that's what we're gonna do.
Okay.
It's a little ways out of town, but we're staying. I think like 3 nights. The first night will probably be, getting in there and getting settled. So we probably won't see you
Right.
that night. But uh yep, there's Alaska, Lisa. Good morning, guys. Already their anniversary. I think it was 10. I think Lisa said that it was their 10th anniversary. What didn't you say?
Well, this is my parents. I'm talking about my
Yeah.
parents, Barbara, not Hannah.
Hmm.
But yes, it was
Hmm.
their 10th anniversary on Friday.
Hmm. Um, these were in this thing that I was going to try to use for something else. So um,
Anyway,
it
when
didn't
you get
it
the
didn't
dates,
work.
I want to write them down. So,
Yeah, I will. I have the dates as long as everything goes right.
yeah.
Um, as long as we don't run into that kind of wind, because although this rig will be a lot easier to deal with the wind in, it's a lot
Yeah.
heavier, so
Well,
it stays.
the 10 days out, when I looked, it looks nice for the next 10
Yeah,
days. But,
yeah.
Barbara, these are some little jars that my friend got at Dollar Tree, and she got these little wooden what do you call those little basket
Crates,
things?
boxes.
Crates. That's it.
Hmm.
At Dollar Tree, and she put it together and made this spice rack for me. But she said by the time she got it put together, she figured I'd probably put craft supplies in it. And I said she was right. So I'm going to sort buttons into it. So that's. I just wanted y'all to see the whole thing, and then I'm going to take the jars out and put buttons into it. So, but
Hi,
anyway, that's what
Julie.
that is. Sorry I interrupted you, Tanya.
No, that's all right. Anyways, we're uh we're leaving next Sunday morning, Lisa.
Okay.
Um, as early as we can. However, our first stop may already be a problem because the the town we were supposed to stop in had a tornado yesterday. So
Oh dear.
yeah, so we may have to do some adjustments, but it's not a big deal because we weren't doing it. We were just doing a slide into a Walmart parking lot and stay night.
Yeah.
We've got Harvest Hosts booked in a couple of places, and hi Sherry.
Hi, Sherry.
Some different things
Hi,
like that.
Julie.
These are where I stamped on the edges of some book papers. So I thought maybe I might use
Oh,
one
those
of
are
those.
cute.
Yeah, they were in this, and I thought this would work for something I wanted to do, and it didn't. It's
Some
too
of them
small.
have shaker tops. She thought I might want to put glitter in those.
Ooh, that would be a bad idea. Can you
Yeah,
imagine
I
if you
would.
knocked it over?
Oh, goodness. And I would. Yeah, but they're going to get buttons just like the rest of them.
Yeah, I was gonna say I would not want to do that. So, okay, so those are on my desk. These are on my desk still. This is on my desk. It says butterflies, birds, and blooms. I have no idea but why it's 500 million copies of that, but I just rearranged some stuff and it's not working very well. So I don't know what I'm gonna do here. This is just
Well,
too full.
Friday when we had all that wind,
Uh-huh.
and I mean, it literally blew the chairs off of my porch.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And the last time that happened, I don't know if y'all remember this, but the last time that happened, my chimney blew off.
Oh,
the
yes.
house.
I remember when that happened. Uh-huh.
Yeah. Anyway, thankfully we didn't have another chimney to blow off. But I mean, there is another chimney, but it didn't blow off. So, but when I went to visit a friend because she was off from school for spring break.
Mm-hmm.
And so I went over to visit her. And when I came home, I noticed there was a package, believe it or not, still on the porch. And I went out to get it before it got blown away. And as I was walking towards the door, if my door was right here, we have this little piece of linoleum, so you don't come straight in onto carpet.
Mm-hmm.
And that was my granddaddy's idea when they lived in this house, so it's just still there. But anyway, that was coated in dirt.
Dear. Yep.
And between my front door and the screen door, I have one of those Dodge draft things.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And it's still dirt. That much dirt came in.
Oh, dear.
It was awful.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Anyway,
I remember the last time we were in Amarillo that we had to, Jeff had to pull the slides in on the camper, and we had to stay with the slides in because it was so windy. So we're going to stay out at the quarry, and we'll see. But it's the trip up the road. Is it between Lubbock and Amarillo? Is 40 run between Lubbock and Amarillo?
No, 40 runs between Oklahoma City and Amarillo.
Yeah. Jeff said we were
Lubbock, it's 87. It's just a short highway that goes to between Lubbock and Amarillo.
Yeah, when we're staying on 40, so I don't know where he got the idea that we'd be south of Amarillo, but I'm not gonna worry about it because it is what it is. I have stuff and I'm gonna just see. I got this stuff. I'm just gonna see what I can do. Okay, now I need to know, are you gonna go size, color?
I don't know. I'm trying to decide. It's not gonna be an easy thing to decide. And I may do just my favorite ones and like do weird buttons in one and big buttons in one and then do colors maybe or something.
Yeah.
But I'm just going to put my favorite ones in.
There you go.
Okay. And I'm sure there'll be plenty left. But anyway, some of them like this. Yeah, no, that'll just get thrown away.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's kind of weird.
It's a thing where it's got one of those little, you put the
thing through it. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's like a fabric. I mean, I don't know how you do it, but there are several of those in here. And then because some of these came just in packages of buttons that I got at the thrift store. And they got, all kinds of weird stuff in here too. And I just didn't even sort them. I just threw them in. So stuff like this, I'm just going to set aside because it's not something I want to use and keep. And I don't want to mess with stuff that I don't love anymore. So
there you go. Mm-hmm. Hi, Lamont.
Hi,
Okay,
Lamont.
so
Welcome.
I'll show you the stuff I grabbed. I pulled these two out because, mostly because this was on my table. Have no idea what I was doing exactly, but it's embossed, if you can't tell.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I must have been messing with something. Got these because they kind of go with it, kind of. I got this thing that says butterflies, birds, and blooms. I've got this little piece of stuff, although there's a bunch of others over here. I might just pick up something different. Who knows? Got these. So we'll just see where it goes. I'm not sure it's going to get used. I'm not sure whatever. But
Yeah, we got lots of stuff to work with, though.
Yeah, I'm going to look for a page and see what I can figure out. Why are you stuck right there? Okay.
Some of these came in a bag and they were just dirty. And instead of cleaning them, I just threw them in and thought I'll clean the ones that when I want to use them. And
now you're not so sure you should have done that, huh?
No, I'm pretty sure I shouldn't have done that, but it's too late to go back and change it now. So now I have to either clean it and keep it or get rid of it. But I was trying to decide, like this little button.
Oh, it's cute.
It is cute. It was filthy, but I'm cleaning it.
Okay.
One of the packages I got, actually, I said it was in a baggie, but it was just in a bowl at an estate sale. And it had been sitting in that bowl for years. So everything was just, dirty.
Yeah. Yep.
And some of them are nice plastic, and some of them are yucky plastic. And that one's pretty. Well, you can't really tell.
It looks like a thistle.
It won't focus. Well, it's actually like a knot.
Oh, okay.
It's just hard to tell because I can't focus.
Anyways, in the last 2 days, I made more than 70 breakfast burritos. I got chili in the crock pot.
All right.
Don't know what else I'm going to do yet, but those two things are getting done. Oh, I deboned 2 chickens yesterday too.
Well, that's good.
So it's getting there, I'm getting it together. However I got these, I must have gotten one of every single color because, it's about what I have.
You at least got all the colors you don't usually use.
Yeah, I got all kinds of colors I don't usually use. So, yeah, there's that. Yes, Barbara, I made some I'm not going to take all 70, but I'll leave some for Brandon. He gets hungry too. But
go ahead. I'm sorry.
The especially when we're just having driving days, and we've got a lot of those in the next 2 weeks. We'll be spending I think 8 days just driving, and so that kind of it's easier to have something to grab and shove in the microwave, and so it works real well most of the time.
Yeah.
So the reason I deboned the chickens was because I want to do I want to try. I've never done it before, but I want to try chicken quesadillas and freezing them.
Oh, yeah.
Hi, Teresa.
Hi, Teresa.
And Jeffrey doesn't particularly like sausage, so I'm doing both. I had to do both bacon and sausage breakfast burritos because,
Because everybody needs to be happy.
that's right. So I don't know what I'm going to do with this page. It just doesn't know. I don't know. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
This one's actually woven leather.
Yep, I have some like that. I love them. I think they're gorgeous.
They are gorgeous. I think I may have more than one, but I think I probably only have one of those.
Well, it would make
We'll
a
see.
good it would make a good closure on a journal, and you wouldn't need
It
but
would.
one.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry, Julie. I've had 3 days like that in a row. It's not fun.
Yeah. I keep waking up at 5 o'clock in the morning, and I can't go back to sleep. And I agree.
Yeah.
It's not
It's
fun.
not fun. This one says consumers tax token. Okay, where'd it go? On Lahoma. And then on the other side, it says, oh, for old age assistance, and it has the number 1 on each side.
That may not be a button.
I don't think it's a button, but it was in with the buttons. I'm just going to put it over here.
I certainly wouldn't get rid of it because it looks like it might be like a little antique thing there. Some companies used to pay their employees with their own coins.
Oh, yeah.
And some cities and things used to have their own coins for different purposes.
Well, it looks, I mean, I guess it could be, but it looks like it's just a real cheap facsimile of something, maybe.
Yeah, I was going to say, it doesn't look like it's anything special.
But it's interesting, so I'll keep it.
Yeah, it made good ephemera. Yeah, guys, I know what you mean about waking up that kind of early. It's awful. It's just, I can't decide if I want to just make that into I'm thinking about making that into a pocket. I am. But it needs something on top of it, some little something like a cluster or something. I don't know. It's just boring the way it is.
I've decided I'm probably going to put the really big buttons somewhere else because it won't take very many of them to fill this up. And then it might be hard to get them out. So.
Yeah. Especially since those jars aren't straight up.
Yeah.
I'm looking for some other little piece of something to go on there. There. Maybe something like that will make me happy. Let's look at that. Okay.
These look like little bowls.
Oh, those are cute.
Aren't those cute? There's got to be some way to use them. I don't know what it is, but they're really cute. I can tell right now I'm going to spend more time trying to decide whether to keep stuff or not than actually putting stuff in little jars today.
I was going to say that is the problem when you get into one of those kinds of things. This probably would come apart further, but it doesn't want to. So I guess we'll use it whole and not worry about it.
I'm already in that place of, well, I may not really like it. It might not be something I could use, but it's really not bad. Somebody might could use
could use it. Yes, somebody will like this. Oh yes, this is pretty. I would like it. Uh-huh. Yep.
Yeah. It's a rabbit hole I don't need to get into today. And then there's something like this, just a white shiny plastic button.
Uh-huh. Some
Definitely.
doilies. Well, if you want heart-shaped ones, you probably missed them because Dollar Tree usually has heart-shaped ones for what do you call that? Valentine's, and I think it's past Valentine's. Didn't it get past Valentine's? I don't remember anymore.
Yeah, it's March.
Yeah, it's March. Uh-huh.
Well, I might still want, it's not like I use them all the time, but I keep thinking these are cool, unusual buttons. I want to, have them. So I definitely won't be boxing them all up, but I'm definitely throwing stuff in the I'm not keeping it pile, and then I'll go through the not keeping it pile and decide if any of it's good enough to, actually give away at the thrift store or whatever.
Julie made a comment that those white buttons you can glue napkin images to.
Oh, that's an interesting thought.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Here's a glass one.
Oh, isn't that pretty?
And that shape that this, shiny you see inside is really the way the glass is shaped on the back. It's bubbly.
Yeah.
Anyway, I like that one. I like the glass buttons. I don't have a whole bunch, but I do have some, and I, like this one.
Oh yeah, that's pretty.
It is pretty, isn't it? I'm definitely keeping all of those glass buttons. No, don't put it down and say you'll decide later. That's what I did with that one. I sat down and went, I don't know. No, if you don't know, it's get rid of it.
Just get rid of it. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Hey, Andrea.
Hi, Andrea. Okay. Mm-hmm. Surely there is. Mm-hmm. This needs a little something, right? There. Besides the fact that I'm going.
I bet I could find a good button to go there if you were closer.
Mm-hmm. Well, there might be a button in my trash bin, but I'm wondering if. This is actually metallic. This is a paint sample, but it's metallic.
That's cool.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And then, okay, let's see if the spinning rack will spin. Okay, I think I put some stuffy stuff in here. Huh, I guess I didn't. Okay, I guess we'll have to go for one of these. There's a bunch of these right here. Oh, wait. There's a little. Oh, that's perfect. This is from when we were making stuff with glue.
Ah.
Oh, that's really cool.
Julie needs to wake up. Maybe we should sing to her.
I don't think Julie wants me to do that.
Well, I know she doesn't want me to.
I'm pretty sure she does not want me to do that.
You can't really see that one. But it's a little bit like it's got leaves around the center.
Ooh.
It's pretty. Oh, and there's more than one. I love it when there's more than one, even though I don't always use them in bunches. I thought about making a bag and sewing a bunch of buttons on the front of it, just as decoration.
Uh-huh.
I still think that'd be fun. But
yeah. The question is will you use the bag?
Exactly.
Because it would be in my way to have buttons on my bag. That's just, I know me.
Well, it wouldn't be my purse for sure.
Yeah.
If it might be a bag that I carried a project in or something, But I definitely wouldn't want a bunch of buttons on my purse because I would do the same thing.
Yeah. That's it. It would be just, aggravating. Okay, so I think that we're going to do that, but we will. We're going to make this little card. Oh, I better ink it. I think I should ink it. Yes, I should ink it. Oh, maybe I should round the corner up there.
Well, I'm glad it's going to be cooler for you, Julie.
Yeah. Our weather doesn't know what to do. It's absolutely confused. 1 minute it is, just way too warm, and the next minute it's cold. Of course, we were supposed to, the wind you had Friday, we were supposed to get a bad storm yesterday. Luckily for us, and unfortunate for other people, it went further north.
Yeah.
And we got some bad rain last night, but it wasn't so bad that it was, we were under tornado watches for most of the night, but we didn't get much of it, really. In all honesty, we didn't get much.
I'll tell you that, rainstorms are bad, but dirt storms are just as bad.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, the dirt was so bad. You could see, but you were looking into brown. And I cannot imagine what it would have been like in Lubbock if they were prepping for sandstorms.
Yeah.
And yeah. I'm glad I was here instead of there. Okay, that's
I'm glad your parents decided not to.
Oh, I am too. I am too.
'Cause we both know you'd have worried all day long.
Oh, I'm worried enough as it was. It was, it was
Yeah.
horrible.
Uh-huh.
That had a gem in the middle that's come out.
Mm-hmm.
But you look at it and it's got a really cool shape. And I keep thinking there's got to be something fun to do with that.
Yeah, I'm sure you could. Use button die cuts and stamps and oh, they're better for mailing. Yeah. I mean, somewhere I have a button jar, but you know, it's I have buttons everywhere, so who knows
Yeah.
where it's at?
Well, I have a bunch of buttons that were my grandmother's, and those are separate from these. These
Yeah.
are all thrift store buttons, garage sale buttons. I made sure not to get them mixed in with my grandma buttons. But I don't have as many grandma buttons as I used to because I let my nieces take some home.
Mm-hmm.
And because the girls used to always love to play button swap, where they would divide up the buttons and then they would trade each other.
Mm-hmm.
And they always went back in the same jar, so it's not like they were keeping. It was a trade for real. It was just
it was
just a trade for fun. And
yeah, and yeah, and it was a good memory for them.
Yeah, it was. They still remember it, and I think they still have the buttons. I know Hannah still has her buttons. Okay, I can see this is definitely not going to be. I mean, a few of them are getting put in jars, but until I know what I'm getting rid of, it's hard to know how to sort them.
Yeah.
I know I'm sorting green into one jar.
Well, that is a standard procedure for Miss Lisa. So,
Miss Lisa Green.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
That I wouldn't question at all. Okay. Oh, excuse me. Oh, my allergies are just awful. Oh, I hate oak trees. The oak pollen is just awful right now. Jeffrey cleaned the camper, and he needs to do this thing called 303 on the roof. It's a type of preventative stuff that you have to put on the roof. And he said, I washed it all yesterday, but now I can't put the 303 on because it's covered with pollen again.
Oh, goodness.
So it's like, oh. So. But it's making me sneeze.
I've got to keep my eye on the time because I'm going to have to go.
Okay.
Earlier than I'd like, but it can't be helped.
I just appreciate your being here for a little bit. I just really wanted to visit. Like I said, we won't have but a couple of days, but because we're only staying about 3 nights, we're going to be. We get to go to the Petrified Forest. Is that a monument or a park? I don't remember. I've never been to the Grand Canyon, and it looks like we're going to get to do the Grand Canyon.
All right.
There's some
we
other
went to the Petrified Forest when I was a teenager on a trip to California. We went there.
We went there.
And I had never been so disappointed in anything in my life.
Oh dear. Oh no.
My thoughts in my head about what I was going to get to see was nothing like what was real.
What was real? Yeah.
Oh, I
You weren't prepared
realized
for you weren't prepared for rocks?
I wasn't prepared for just pieces of rocks on the ground. I was
Yeah.
prepared for rock trees,
Ah,
not
okay.
little rock logs.
Yep,
And
yep,
some of them were decent size, but
yeah.
still, it was quite a disappointment. My dad
Well,
just laughed at me.
yeah, uh-huh.
Oh,
That's one of those things that sometimes they're not what you think. The the big thing is we'll be close, and if we're close, I really want to, see. I'd like to see everything, but um, it's one of those things. It's not very far off 40, and since we're traveling 40 this trip, we need some words right here.
yeah. Some of these, and you can't tell it on here, but some of these buttons are just shattered. They're still together, but they're not like breaking, but they're just have little cracks all in them.
Huh.
Weird. They're just
That's
old.
weird. Yeah, I would say just old. Julie, let me look at my microphone.
I'm probably closer to my
Yeah, that may be it. You may just be closer
my
to your
microphone.
mic. Yeah.
Okay, let me see if I can move it away. No, I can't because it's on my camera.
Don't do that. Yeah. Well, and I usually shout, so my husband, I'm kind of loud, I guess.
Well, she said your volume is lower than mine.
Yeah.
So
I must just be being quiet today.
that's it.
Okay, this one's going to say she could believe. That's all it's going to do. Is just she could believe. But I think we're going to put it on a piece of this. Okay. Because we want a little something around it. Come here. My eyes are so messed up lately. All the things we have to do to get ready to go, and my husband's been outside the last 2 days cutting down a tree.
Well, everybody has different ideas about the things that need to be done, I guess.
Well, that's true, and it's been on his list for a year or longer. I'm not sure. It's one of those things that he could no longer put up with.
Yeah.
It's a holly tree, and they are not. They just get in the way, and the birds. You can control your volume on your app. Okay, let me see here. Well, my camera doesn't allow that, Teresa. And she's not very loud to me, so I don't understand why it's louder.
Yeah, well, you sound good to me too. You sound loud enough, but it may be where I've got my volume turned up on my computer.
Yes. Okay. Is that better, guys? Is that better? That's true, Julie. He says, I'm not facing this tree when I get back. That's right. Let me know if that's better, because I just found a place. Okay, because I just found a place where I could turn mine up a little bit. So I just
I was going to say, I can go in and try to turn mine down, but
yeah, no, that's fine. Because you sound good to me, and we don't want to. I don't know. Well, Teresa, I just turned my microphone up a little bit. And Julie says it sounds better. So we'll just leave it there. Okay, so there's that so much. Like that, but now it needs something to tuck in this pocket because we
Hi,
can't
Steph.
Hi, Steph.
Yes, you have to have something to tuck in each pocket.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And it's better now. Okay. Well, that sounds good. All right. So that needs something to tuck in the pocket, and I thought this would do. So we're going to see about turning this into a tag, but we can't have it look like that on the back. Just can't. So we need a piece of paper or a piece of something that we can put on its back. That's too heavy. There. We'll look at that. Oh, I threw something on the floor. Now I have to bend down and pick it up.
I'm sorry.
I hope I didn't think. Yeah, isn't that a fun button collection? If I didn't throw things on the floor, it wouldn't be a problem now, would it? Okay, let's see. Okay, that would work. Yep, that would work. So we will just glue this on the back.
Here's some kind of little tie pin or something.
Oh, that's pretty.
I'm not sure what it is. It has the number 2 on it. Anyway, it's interesting.
You have it, Barbara, but it's always more fun to stream when I have when we have company.
I agree.
We would stream more often. It's just, there just isn't time right now. Okay. All right. I told you about the fiasco with the driver's license bureau, didn't I, with Dad? Did I tell you about that? 5.5 hours. Jeff had Dad there for 5.5 hours.
Oh my goodness.
Okay. And comes down to they can't do anything. Jeff has to have everything dealt with through the doctor's office. But of course, Dad tried to tell them that there was nothing wrong with him. He doesn't have neuropathy. He's not 100% disabled. There's nothing wrong with him. Okay. But it was obvious. And Jeffrey, of course, said, Dad, what about your neuropathy? And so she said, well, Mr. McGuire, your neuropathy is something that we can't allow you to drive if the doctor says you can't. So anyways, they have an appointment. There's paperwork. It's got to go to Tallahassee. Okay. He does not even remember having been in the DMV for 5.5 hours, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So he's been calling Jeff every day, sometimes 3 or 4 times a day, because, his driver's license is expired. Oh, I'll just drive and pay the ticket. We're like, no, you can't drive and pay the ticket. It's just been, it gets funnier and funnier, honestly.
Well, you either have to laugh or you have to cry. So
yeah, that's kind of how it is.
Yeah.
But one of the things is that he's calling now, and he calls Jeff, and he calls like 3 or 4 times a day, and it's the same thing. Of course, you could say something to him, and 5 minutes later, he wouldn't remember that you said it to him, right? So
right.
So Jeff told him, but Dad, you can't drive until the paperwork goes through Tallahassee. Oh, okay. But now he's calling but my tags expire. And we've told those tags have been taken care of for months. You know, we took care of those ages ago. So my tags expired. And Jeff and Perry both said, Dad, we took care of the tags. Apparently this morning he told Perry that he had to pay such and such a bill. And Perry said, okay, where's the bill? Because Dad, Tanya's been paying your bills for months. It's like, okay, whatever. It just gets funnier and funnier. The other day they went out to breakfast. Jeff had to take him to the Navy Yard for some stuff. And they went out to breakfast, and Dad's picking at a spot on the table, and he tells Jeff, every day I pick at this spot and it will not come up. It's like, okay. It's funny and it's not funny, but it's so cute, you know. It is really cute and it's really sad, but at the same time, it's funny. We're getting a kick out of it. But if you don't laugh, then it really hurts. Because
it does. It really hurts. I understand we're going through the same things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Same things. And, you know, and the sad part is that, you know, on some level, they know that they're forgetting these things, but they don't know what it is they've forgotten and what's real.
That's right.
And that's so frustrating, you know. For my mom, it's the same thing. I told her yesterday morning, I called her, I said, in about 30 minutes, I'm going to bring over some soup. So if you unlock the back door, you know, then I can get in. And she said, okay. And when I got over there, well, the back door wasn't unlocked, but I thought, well, you know, she just forgot and I wasn't worried about it. But I came in and she was like, oh, hi, I'm trying to figure out what to have for lunch. I said, I brought you soup. And she said, did you call me and tell me you were bringing soup? I said, yes. She said, I'm sorry. I forgot all about it. I said, it's okay. You know, it's not a problem. Yeah. You don't need to be sorry. But I'm just glad you didn't go ahead and heat up something else, you know, before I got here. And she said, I'm glad too, because I'd rather just eat your soup, you know. So.
Yep. Uh-huh.
But.
Julie, my father got very unhappy with his, because he knew what was going on, but he couldn't express it verbally. His ability to speak is what he lost the connection between his words and his mouth, and that really made him sad.
Oh, I bet.
The one thing I can say about my dad is that he never, ever got belligerent and angry. He was always, you know, happy. So that was helpful because the belligerent, angry thing can be really hard.
It can. And I'm grateful that Mom and Daryl are not exhibiting any of that either.
Yep.
Because it's so hard to care for your parents when they're not your parents anymore. I mean, they're not the people you knew, you know.
Hi, Joyce.
This is hard enough, but.
Yes, with Mom, he got mean. Yeah, he would get mean. I got to make a phone call. I'll be right back. Okay?
Alrighty. We'll be here.
I just got to call my kid. He's in the backyard, or somewhere. I don't know where he's at. He's got a pack.
Here's somebody's photo. It was in with thrift store buttons.
Oh, okay, bye.
Oh, wait, there was a glass button. There we go. Oh, no, that one's supposed to have a gem in it. I kept all those that didn't have gems in them thinking, well, I can put a gem in it later. But I won't, so I'm going to get rid of them.
Okay, you got to show me the photo that
Okay.
I'm missing.
Where did I put it? I just threw it in there. Just a second. There we go. It's like from the 70s.
Oh, uh-huh. Yep. Interesting. Thank you, Lisa. Yes, thumbs up would be greatly helpful. Um, Brandon was actually here. He just inside. He just wasn't where he could see. He's taken. The kid took several days off work to try to put this engine back together in his truck. Well, then of course, he's planning on doing that, and then yesterday he come up without a tool that he has to have to get some part apart. And so we ordered it and it just finally came. So that he's been waiting on it this morning. Not that he stopped doing what he was doing, but at least he can go on with what he needs to do.
That's good.
Yeah, because it doesn't look like he's going to get it done in the time frame that he thought he had hoped, because something came up and he decided he better do something else before he put it all back together.
Yeah.
You know, it is the way it is when you're rebuilding something old.
That's true. Ethan bought a toy, and it's an old Japanese toy from one of their anime productions. Anyway, it's it's old. It's, I don't know, 20 years old or something like this. And he got it in the mail, and of course he's spent a lot of time being a toy doctor, so he knows things to do to make joints stiffer or make them looser or whatever. So he's going over this thing, and it's just interesting what when you're interested in something, you put up with all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Having to stop in your rebuild because something else came up, that you weren't expecting. And
that's it. And well, he, like he said, once he looked at it yesterday, there was this thing about if he does it now, then it okay, something went funny. There we go. I was trying to zoom back in here. We go. If he does it now, everything is apart. If he waits, then it'll be put back together, and then you have to take off more parts to actually get to what you want. So
yeah, ultimately it's better to just go ahead and do it now, but
yeah,
because I can't imagine anything worse than getting it put back together and then realizing.
Right. And that was it. And he decided, well, maybe he just should go ahead and do it now. And like you said, he had most everything will be in tonight. There was a what do you call it? A gasket he had to order.
I'm not sure, Joyce.
I don't think she has enough buttons. No. Of course, I have buttons still on cards. Lots and lots of buttons on cards.
Don't talk about that. I have some of those too. We're not talking about those today.
Okay.
I have grandma's buttons. I have buttons on cards, but I forgot about both of those.
Okay. All right. I like this. It says magic in truth. The deal is this truck is as old as he is. It's actually he's 34 now, and the build date on it is right about his birthday. But he owns 2 of these trucks. One of them's still in Nebraska. They are monsters. They are just huge diesel monsters. They're old Dodge Cummins engines, and it's huge. And he keeps looking and he keeps seeing all these other trucks, and I'm like, nope, only one truck at a time, only one at a time. Nope, can't have another one in my yard.
You don't want to become a used truck lot?
No, I really don't. It's bad enough how many cars we have. Because we've had Jeff's dad's 2 cars here too. They had not
Right.
been cared for. They hadn't been being taken care of. So I've been fixing cars and fixing cars and fixing cars, and we took one of them back just to have one in the driveway over there.
Right.
And so at least we're down one, but we still have one too many cars. What time do you have to go?
In just a few minutes.
Okay, well, I'm going to excuse myself for just a minute, okay?
Okay.
I need to go get some tea.
All righty, go get some tea.
He's going to take us all to the kitchen to make some coffee. Okay, I'll be right back.
Okay. Several times I've had buttons that get stuck with a smaller button that, like, if a little tiny, let me see if I can find one small enough. Well, or something like this would get stuck on this button, and I would think, oh, that's pretty. And then I would touch it and it would move. And I was like, oh, it's 2 different things. They're not. Some of these I'm thinking keeping them was just pure laziness, because never was there a time when I would have wanted to use that button. So but I just was too lazy to get rid of it. This is a little piece of wood. It's not even a button. Of course, I'm finding quite a bit of stuff in here that's not even buttons. Hi, Dawn. It's been a long time. Good to see you. Oh, remember that one I found a minute ago with a green back and a number 2? Well, this one has a red back and a number 1. I don't know if anybody knows what those are, but I'm keeping them. Oh, there's the rest of that red piece of wood. See? I don't know if it's a bingo piece. Not sure what it is. But we're not keeping it. You think it's all right if I put an orange button in with the red buttons? I think I'm going to, because there are very few orange buttons.
I'm back.
You're back. Okay.
Hi, Dawn. How are you? Just been silently watching. That's great. Going to take you. I didn't know how much I had missed. Okay, that's why I can't see chat. Got the wrong glasses on.
Well, that'll do it.
Okay, where was I the other day? I don't remember. I was in a store, right? I'm in the store. And I had to ask for something, or where it was at, whatever. And I was having a discussion with the person I was talking to, and she said, do you realize you have 2 pair of glasses on top of your head? And I said, yeah, but I think 1 pair of sunglasses today. I said, I walk around all the time with 2 pair on my head. And she said, oh, okay. I said, they're different things of reading glasses because I can't see squat. And she's like, oh, well, I hadn't thought about that. Okay, so we need some fluffy stuff to go on there. Let's see what would be pretty. Yeah, it's okay, but not really exciting. Needs a little blue in it because everything else. Don't see anything I like. Wait, what's that? No, not that. I'm glad, Dawn. Oh, how about this one?
Oh, that'll be pretty. Like it was made for it.
I really like my little bucket of things. It worked. That organization thing worked really well. Okay, first we need a hole.
Oh, I've got like a million little tiny safety pins in here. I'm not sure why.
Ooh, they would be fun to rust.
Yeah, whether these little gold-colored ones, would they rust?
Yeah.
All right.
Sure
well, I won't get rid of them.
They will. I don't think they're brass.
Yeah.
Okay. This is really kind of skinnier than I expected it to be, so it's going to take some. It's going to take multiple pieces of this, I think, to make it be fun.
Okay. Well, I obviously did not get very far along in this project. I have a few buttons in here. A few buttons in here. A few little glass buttons.
I'm sorry, Lisa. It's kind of like my stamp sorting my rubber stamps. It's like, okay, nothing's really gotten much done with that.
Well, it's like you pick up 20 and there's like 60 more that they bred while you were picking up those 20.
Yep. I believe.
So,
yep. Okay.
Anyway, I'm gonna have to get off though. I got things I've got to do.
All right.
But
well,
I love you.
Okay, and okay.
And you're leaving next Sunday, so you won't be streaming, right?
Right. I won't be streaming next Sunday, but we should be in to see you towards the end of that week.
Okay. Well, good.
Okay. But I'll let you know exactly what days we'll be at because we're going to stay at the reservoir.
That sounds good.
What you call it south of you is really too small. The sites are too small.
Oh yeah. So are you staying at the quarry?
Yeah. Is that what it is? It's north.
Well, Alabates, is that
what?
Is it out at Alabates? You said something about quarry.
Reservoir.
The reservoir. Okay. Well, I don't know what.
It's north of you, and there's a big lake.
Oh, at Lake Meredith?
Yes, Lake Meredith.
Okay. Well, I'm going to warn you, it's not a beautiful place, but
I know, and that's where the fires were. I'd have just stayed. Never mind.
Yeah. Okay. Won't talk about it.
Well, and all the fires were up there a year ago.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Oh, and we have had no rain, so it's going to be even less beautiful than normal.
Yeah. Oh well.
But anyway,
we'd have liked to have stayed at Polidoro, but Polidoro is just the sites are just too small.
Yeah. Well, that's a shame because that's a much prettier place.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to try to stream next Tuesday. Next Sunday.
Oh, next.
But
Sunday.
Yeah, next Sunday. But I'm not, making any promises because daily things change. So
yes. When your life has to give you giggles, then they change daily.
Yes, they do.
Yep. Yep.
But love you all. I'll talk to you later. Y'all enjoy the rest of your afternoon while I go do what I got to do. Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Okay, I had to see how much my thing was coming in. This is going to be perfect. It just there's lumps in this yarn, so you have to kind of play with it a little bit. There we go. You kind of have to pull each and every one when you have lumpy things. Okay, now my phone is there we go. That was not important. It can. Oh, thank you. I think that's Cindy. Yeah, it is Cindy. I remembered. Yay! Hi, Cindy. Who knows where I got it or when I got it? I don't remember. But it just worked. It was just going to be perfect for this particular. Oh, but you know, you have to have scissors, and I don't know where they went to. There they are. Yay! Okay, so I don't know. I think maybe the edges of that need inked, and I think honestly it needs to be rounded on the bottom corners, which we can do. It's not hard to do, and we can ink it without any problem. Oh yeah, much better if it's inked. It doesn't. It was just too stark. And how about that? I used some washi tape today because, you know, I have 500 million things of washi tape and I never use them. Yes, it has little bits of sparkles. But more importantly, it had the right colors to go in here. So it just goes right in there like that. So that is today's page. Yay! It says, she could believe magic and truth. And I think one tag is enough for today's page. Yes, it does. Where is my pen so I can date this? And today's date is March. Okay, March. /16/2025. After you get good and tired of taking apart the tea cozy. Well, that's I like it. Came out good. Let's put these away. I got to figure out how to put these in the other in my other little thing to keep them. And let's put those away. I think I finally cleared out enough things for my spinning rack to work. Oh, except it doesn't work with that. Nope, not going to work with that. That's okay. Okay. I got a bunch of stuff in here that doesn't seem to be going in very well. Yeah, I imagine taking apart a tea cozy is not an actually fun time of the day, but that's, you know. I have to remember that these work to cover the back of these paint chips, because that worked real well. And they're both in the scrap drawer, so that's a good thing. All right, let's see. We need to put those back into this thing. That the tea cozy, is it worth taking it apart, Barbara? What is the purpose of taking it apart? This is the question I guess I'm asking. You want to make it into something else? Is that the plan? Oh, I realized that I increased too much way back near the center, so I have to get it torn out to place where, okay. You know, Julie, I know you like Robin McClendon, but look up Southern Gal, I think it's Southern Gal Designs. Tiffany has got some really interesting it's in some respects she has similar artwork to Robin, but just the color combinations are different. If you look at Robin's work, it's very earth tone, monochromatic kind of thing. And if you look at Tiffany's, she uses more color, but it's very, very similar. And I think you might like her work. And I'm pretty sure it's Southern Gal Designs. And if you can't find it, message me on Facebook and I will find it for you. Okay, let's put this up so that it can dry and I don't have to worry about glue getting stuck somewhere, because that sometimes happens. What do we want to do now? We need to clean up this mess is what we need to do. Let's see. And maybe you know it will excite you in some way that makes you feel like you want to play with that stuff. So, okay, I think I might be going to work on this book. Okay, where do we stand with this book? Let's take a look at it. I know these are the front and back cover. I'm not sure if we can, oops. What is this? Okay, that's one of the postcards. Thank you, Barbara. You know, it was just because that's what was laying. It was because this was laying on my table. I don't remember what I was doing, but there it's embossed. So it came out pretty cool. I kind of like it. I made this made the covers several weeks ago, so I just don't know where I stand with this. I think most of the holes are in this. Yeah, that's all holes. Are the holes in this? Okay, these actually need punched. Okay. Thank you, Julie. It probably is. Her first name is Tiffany, and she actually lives over in Alabama, very close to where we live. And I've never met her, but I think she's pretty young. I won't tell you for sure because you know that's none of my business. But I can't do this that way. Sorry. If I get these all punched, then I can start binding it, and that would be good to get another one of these books out of my stuff to do. Doubt I would get it done today, but at least it would be kind of accomplished. But one of the things that I would say is similar to Robin's is it's kind of the same style. But like I said, Robin tends to use browns and black and that kind of thing. And Tiffany tends to use brighter colors. But it's something to explore if that's something you wanted to play with and suddenly the options aren't really there. Little book-sized journals made with 6x9 envelopes. Huh. Anyways, we're in the process of getting ready to go. So now it's a matter of making sure I have all of the parent stuff taken care of, which Jeff has 2 doctor's appointments for his dad this week. I think I've got my mom's all sorted out. Oh shoot, that's the other thing I need to do is make sure that Perry's got mom's eye appointment. I think I already gave it to him, but I need to double check because mom's got a couple of appointments while I'm gone. So I think I've got those all covered. And I think we've got both their medications sorted out. That's, you know, it's not just about taking care of my stuff. It's about taking care of them. So. Willow Wanders, yes. Huh. Okay. I hadn't Neutral colors. Thank you, Cindy. The words just didn't want to come out of my brain cells. Thank you, Julie. I don't remember what her name is, Barbara. Watercolor is something I really want to play with, but I just have not had the time. It's just it's you know, it's really on my agenda, but I guess those are sometimes things, someday things. Someday I'll get to do that. I must have been really, really brain dead this day. It's just paint on card and a word. Either that or we were gone all day, and that's just, but my guess is there was nothing happening, I would guess. Yeah, Lori's interesting to watch. I also like to watch Jean. What is Jean's channel? Jean Peters. Is it Jean Peters art? Jean Peter. I can't remember. But I like to watch her videos. She does a lot of doodles, and I really like doodles. Wendy Sola. Oh boy, but Wendy, okay. Will it? Wendy does for sure. That's been okay. Thank you, Julie, for putting in those links. What Willa Wendy is responsible for a big group class stuff of they do this every year. They do this online class thing. Okay, that's the back. These look like, are these the back or the front? They say November, so I'm guessing they're towards the back. Oh, good. I made them all upside down and backwards. That's what I really am good at. Oh, now I'm putting them together wrong. Okay. That's not going to work. No, that would work. We put it like this. No, that doesn't work. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to put these in order, and my brain is not working. Yeah, it costs quite a lot of money, Barbara, and you know, not something that I could do. Okay. I put these together wrong, I think. I have to put them down the other way, but let's see if these are reasonably in order, and then we'll figure it out. Yeah, they are. Okay. So let's fix this. Okay, but this one goes before that one. Okay, Julie. I haven't had time to watch videos at all the last few months. It's just with everything going on, it just really has been, you know, by the time I've gotten dinner and I've eaten and I don't even have to clean up. Usually Jeff cleans up after dinner. Now, I try to clean up as I go when I'm cooking, but at the same time, I don't even have to put the dishes in the dishwasher after dinner. Jeffrey will handle it for me. So it's not like I don't have help. But man, by the time I'm done with dinner, I'm tired. It's like I try to do a little bit of paperwork or something like that after dinner, and I'm just kind of like going, crashing and. Okay, Barbara, that's awesome. I have so many plans, you know, and I even have the supplies set together to do things, and it doesn't get done. So I'm just making sure these are in the right order so that I can bind them. I think I'm gonna spend the rest of the time binding these, just simply because This has got to get done. It just has to. I've got 4 books over here that are not finished. 4 trips we've taken that I haven't taken care of the books. Yeah, Cindy, it's just you know, and the last 2 days, okay, first off, I had to go to Sam's twice because Friday when I went to get the stuff I was making, hoping that I could do one part of it Friday and one part of it Saturday, I didn't buy enough dang eggs. And if you're following a recipe, you know what you're doing. I don't follow a recipe. It just depends on how big the onions are or how big this or that. So I didn't have enough eggs, and I didn't buy enough little burrito shells. I was making breakfast burritos to freeze, and that's a 2-day job because I can't make 40 burritos and then another 30 or 40. It just, yeah. I made more than 70 burritos, breakfast burritos, little ones. And okay, look how big this book is. Anyways, it was one of those exhausting kind of couple of days, and I need some. Oh, I guess I need to count, don't I? Yes, I need to count. Should have counted as I went. 1, 2, 3. Why do I need to count to know how long to make my thread? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Yeah, I put them in the freezer, Cindy, and when we're going on a trip like this, it makes it really a lot easier for breakfast, especially when we're traveling. And I made enough to leave some home for my son. So I forgot how many I had, so shouldn't have stopped to read chat. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 37, 38, 39, 40, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 50. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 60. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 70. 73. Yeah, Julie, I just cut mine all off yesterday. It was easier just to cut them off. Okay, so at 73 inches, no, 73 cards. Okay, and since I put the hole about a ½ inch back, that means each card requires roughly 1 inch. That's 73 inches, but you need to double it. So That's 146 inches, which is 1, 2, 12 feet. Just a minute. 12 feet. How many inches? 12 is 24. 12 feet 2 inches. 12 feet 2 inches. I need 12 feet 2 inches 3 times, but I need always add to that. So it's always that was one trip, Julie. We were gone for 73 days. That was actually kind of a short trip. One of my books is a lot longer than that. We've actually, the last couple of years, taken pretty short trips. But I send her one every day. So I have to go get some wax linen. Okay, let's see. Both of these are brown. Just one is a 3 cord and one is 2 cord. And I just wanted to, I'm going to use the 2 cord. So, okay. Table is 4 foot long. 12 feet is 3 times the table. So if I want extra, right, I need 4 times the table. You like my measuring techniques, guys? 4 times the table. Yeah. Uh-huh. And I need 3 of those because I have 3 holes in my cards. And if you haven't watched me do this before, I'm doing a slip. I'm going to do a slip knot binding. And there are a couple of videos on my channel. Yeah, I puzzled you. I'm sorry. Did it make it sense then? Okay, I need 12 feet 2 inches. If the table is 4 foot long and I do it 3 times, that's 12 feet. But I want some extra. So I did 4 times, which is actually technically 16 feet, but it gives me extra thread. Never short yourself on thread. That is the worst possible. It's just not worth it kind of thing. Okay, more coffee and some food. Anyways, there are a couple of videos on my channel if you guys haven't watched me do this binding before. Lisa and I have used it many times. It is, I didn't come up with it. Somebody else came up with it. There's links to where I learned it from in those videos. Yes, it's waxed linen thread. Yes. And I get it from a company that, or I got this from a company that is a basket company. they sell basket making supplies. It's not inexpensive. Um, you get a lot when you know. The problem is if you don't do a lot of that, um, a lot of this you would, you know, using up a spool is not easy to do. Um, the only spool I have from my last, and see, I used to buy this wholesale because I used it in my jewelry. Um, the only spool I don't have is one that I gave to Lisa. It was green. Um, she just loves green so much, and I wasn't using it that much, and I just took it to her first time we went to Amarillo. Um, it comes in multiple different thicknesses, and they call it cords. It's the strands that, like, this has only got 2 strands of the linen, where the other spool I pulled out had 3 strands, and I just wanted to sit down and feel it before I started working. It will last a long time. There's a lot of thread on that thing. Yeah, and it's probably a lot more cord, a lot more thickness, Julie, than this is. It probably has way more cords in it, or it isn't maybe as fine of a linen twist. No, I won't want to say that because I don't know, but um, this stuff is real fine. I can make this go through a size 10 seed bead. Yeah, it's probably thicker, and I would guess 4 cords or more. Okay, so this is the middle of my 3 cords. I need to turn my stuff upside down. That's my back cover, is the deal. You've never watched me bind one? Well, I'm going to work on it. It takes a while, but this thing is going to slide all over with as long as this is. So let's see what we can do here. Yeah, that's not going to work. Oh, I need it to be heavy. Well, we'll just put it like that and hope it stays there. With this much cord, it sometimes takes a bit to pull it through, and it can get tangled up a lot. I have found it's easiest if I put one cord on the right side of me, one cord in between my knees, and then the other cord on the left side of me. But for a while, it looks kind of tangled. And do not pull too hard, because even though that's like heavy cardstock on the postcard, it's not. I'm going from outside the original to inside. Wrong way. Yes, Cindy, I have 3 holes, so I have 3 threads, but the threads are doubled. And I believe they call the original knot you'd pull right there is a lark's head. I won't guarantee that, but I believe that is the case. And I could wind those threads up, but I have found that they don't it's not really helpful. For some reason they just, it's hard to get them pulled through the loop if you have them all wound up. So 3 threads at 4. No, Julie, three threads at 16 foot long is how long these are. Folded in half, so that makes each half 8 foot long. Let me go over the math again. I'll show you. Where did my little piece go? Okay, so I have 73 cards. The inset on the hole is 1/2 inch, so it takes a full inch to wrap around this section right here. Okay, so if it takes a full inch to wrap around that section, I need 73 inches, at least 73 inches for each to make the book. But I need it doubled, so I have twice 73 inches, which ends up being 146 inches, which is 12 feet 2 inches. But I do not like to have it too short. I would rather have a lot of thread and then to have it too short. So I'm good for right now.
Okay.
Thank you, hon.
Go get a shower.
Okay. The tea fairy just came to find out if I needed tea. So I made each thread 16 feet long and then folded it in half. And yes, you need a lot of thread. So the next thing we do is we go like this. And yes, it's a pain. And you could put needles on these, but I don't like to have needles. Huh. The one postcard I didn't put holes in, I guess. And the other thing is I'm working from the back of the book to the front. I always do the back to the front because when I do my postcard books, I tie little stuffs to the front. Yes, I have a wonderful tea fairy, lumberjack tea fairy, you know, driver of all things. Okay, so I put this from the back to the front in this card, and then I have to go through between the 2 threads. And yes, it sometimes likes to tie into a knot. And why did it do that? What is it doing here? Well, phooey. Did I just do that wrong? Okay, don't do what I tell you, okay? What did I just do? Yes, I just did it wrong. Okay, my brain went on vacation. Sorry, guys. Don't get why you double the 73 inches. I get the ½ inch wraparound, the 1 inch, but why 73 times 2? Okay? Because I'm using this thread doubled. Okay? If I only had 1 inch, one thread, I couldn't get between these threads. You have to fold this thread in half so that you have 2 threads, basically. No, you're not distracting me. I'm just, I'm not thinking real good. I'm tired too, Julie, honestly. I've been doing like y'all have been doing, getting up at the wrong time of day. Okay, you got it. Okay. Yeah, you have to have 2 threads so that you can go between the threads. So, and I just did that backwards. That was my problem. I should have done it. You have to go from the top to the back. Like this, through the top, and then between these 2 threads. Like that. And then pull it. Now, you can tie threads together so you don't have to work with such a long piece. I just don't like doing that. It just bothers me. I don't like it. Didn't like it when I was doing big fancy necklaces either. I always tried to do my threads. Now, don't pull this tight because you got to get 2 more threads in these holes. And if you pull it tight right now, you're going to have more trouble getting this through there. And it sort of creates a chain stitch up the side of your book. It's what it looks like to me, anyways. And when your thread's waxed, you don't have to have a needle. It seems to work just fine for me without a needle. And I punched an 1/8 inch hole. Now, if I had only punched a 16th inch hole, I might have more trouble. But first off, that my Crop-A-Dile punches really nice holes. It punches them easily through cardboard. And Lisa and I, when we did our crispy crunchy books, the ones that made all the noise, the ones that have so much collage and stuff on them, they were really thick, and so it was just way easier to do a. Now what I'm trying to do is keep the threads open on the sides. And like I said, do not pull too hard. Yes, the way the pages, it's kind of like a weaving. Yes, in some respects, it's kind of like a weaving. And when you have a book with heavy, hard pages, it's one of the few single sheet binding things that work, as far as I'm concerned, to lay flat. And but it only works if the pages are, reasonably sturdy, because with a soft piece of paper, it'll come right through. Now, I have done where the cardstock was just a little too thin. I have laid a second piece of cardstock over it, glued it down, and then punched my holes through it, which also works real well if you've got a lot of layering on there and you need more space between pages. And I happen to like to work on my books, even my art journal type pages. I happen to like to work on them outside of a journal. I like to work on them as separate pages. So it works real well for me as long as the substrate is sturdy enough to handle this binding. But I will tell you, you can have a pretty sturdy piece of cardstock and pull this waxed linen right through the cardstock. And I know this because I have done it. But yeah, it lays real flat. So if you wanted to pre-bind your journal, it's one of the things that would work very, very well for laying it flat. It will, after a time, sometimes your threads will get off a little bit. That much I don't worry about it, but if it gets too much like this, it's easier if you just trim them back up. And that's another reason why I start with too much thread. I'd rather have too much thread than not enough. That's kind of like a mantra. Mantra, is that how you say that word? And the other thing, Cindy, is what it looks like going up the side of the book. It looks like, kind of looks like crochet or knitted stitches. So it's very much like you're weaving or tying them together. But I can't remember which book it was, but I actually took like cereal box cardboard and glued it on here because the pages had so much stuff on them that it was that it needed to be. Now you could put it front to back if you wanted to do that, but when I put all my beads and all my little found objects and stuff onto the front of this, it's easier to have it if I have the binding threads, the leftover binding threads to decorate with. So and as many times as I've done this, it always takes a minute to remember exactly what you do. The video I have for this, there is an actual website link that has a printed direction sheet. I cannot tell you whose it was. I don't remember. When I found it, get down there. The other thing is if it's warm and you're using waxed thread, you might have to go wash your hands every so often because it gets sticky and you won't. It'll be harder to work. Just so y'all know. I can go get one. Just hold on a second, Cindy. I'll go get one and show it to you. They're just around the corner out in the living room. I keep them on the table in the living room. Okay, guys, I just got to get back in here with all these strings. Not roll over the top of it with my chair. Okay. Okay, and this one has, this is the one where we were hunting fossils and stuff like that. So there's a lot of little found objects on there. There weren't as many pressed pennies around. So, and one of the things I didn't do with this one was to put which trip it was. And I don't know why I was thinking that. Usually I try to put on the year and spring and things like that. So, that one, and see, this is where the other two things are tied. And this is what it's wiggly, but it's pretty cool. And let me see if I can flip it. See, it opens flat right here. I don't want to show off mom's address is the deal, guys. So, now this isn't even a big one. This is actually smaller than you would think. The biggest one was about this big, and it was on the bottom, so I didn't dig for it. That's why I didn't grab it. But I collect these fresh pennies on our trips, wherever we happen to go. We do sometimes stop at bead stores, and I sometimes gather a bead or some little thing. This was a gift. This is actually an antique bottle that my friend actually gave it to me, and she dug it out of the place where we go bottle digging. And these are garnets that we picked up. There's garnets in there, and she found this tiny bottle. I didn't find this one, but she gave it to me, and she put some of the garnets in it that we find when we go to visit her. What is this one? This was from the mine, and we took a mine tour in this particular trip. Bead store. And then these, like I said, these are little found objects. This is little wooden things. This is I found it in the parking lot. Love to find those things. These two things came from bead store. We grilled a bunch this trip, so I have a little grill and a little flour. Another pressed penny, and these are actually fossils. It's hard to see the fossils on the thing, but there's actual fossils down in there. Hi, Amy. Thank you, Amy. I send my mother a postcard every day. Now, this one is store-bought. This one's not. It's whatever we happen to be doing that day. Oh, that one is, we apparently were driving, so it was just, that's a Project Life card, and then some little bits and pieces from a Louisiana map, because we must have driven through Louisiana. Welcome, Amy. This is where we camped. This is actually our campsite and our friend's campsite that were right next to each other. This must be, just a minute. Yeah, this is spring from last year, and our trip got kind of altered. We were traveling, and then with our friends, and then all of a sudden we decided to go buy a new RV, and then 6 days after owning the new RV, we had to go. And this is when I did Shannon Green's workshop too in Fayetteville. But I try to make a postcard or buy a postcard. If we're at national parks or national monuments, places where they have, this is just, we weren't doing much, I guess. We were just sightseeing. We went out to lunch, played dominoes afterwards. Places where we must have played dominoes this day too. So they're all, and then I mail her this postcard, And and then she saves them for me. And then when I come back, she gives them to me, and I'm supposed to be binding them into books. Well, I have like 4 of them I haven't bound. They've just been in my box to get done for a while, and it's starting to get to me, but so that's what I'm working on. I'm just working on binding one. Mom enjoys getting the postcards. This one, like I said, this is store-bought. I like to buy postcards from places like the national parks and national monuments as much as anything to support their bookshops, because you know they and they're usually not horrible priced. The biggest thing is to make sure I go to the post office before we leave and buy several sheets of postcard stamps. And I usually pre-cut. One of these days I need to do a video on the stuff I take, but I usually pre-cut 4x6 pieces of cardstock, heavy cardstock. I do have some watercolor pads that are 4x6 because sometimes I do drawings. Just a minute, I was going to look to see if I had any drawings. Sometimes I actually sit down and draw something. I don't see one. This is an actual leaf that I put on the card. Okay, this is laundry day. You know, just that was a really fast drawing. Sometimes the sketches are a little more intricate than that. Some days my brain just does not have anything to say, so I just doodle. I was looking for, I guess I don't have any sketches in there. But I do some sketches sometimes. It just depends. I'm the doodle queen. Yeah. Actually, I'm the queen of doing whatever it takes to, do something with what I've got in hand, right? I do use a lot of dots in my doodles, that much I'll say. I like to do dots. Well, one of the things is the pressed pennies. I've collected them. I've always collected them when we went on a trip. The problem always has been that I didn't have anything to do with them once I got home with them. And yeah, they make little books you can put them in, that kind of stuff, but they never really that just never really tripped my trigger, I guess. So it's kind of nice to have. What did you do? Did I put that through there backwards again? This is why I have 2 pairs of glasses on my head, because sometimes I can't see. What in the world did I do? I don't know, but we're going to undo it. My guess is I somehow went through it the wrong direction. Either that or it flipped out around the corner and I got it tangled. You do kind of have to pay attention. The clamps I use. Is this what you're talking about, Julie? Somewhere I have big ones, but they got carried off to do a different project, so I don't have any big ones in the drawer right now. Okay. Unfortunately, they are just little clamps, and I have big ones, but they came from Dollar Tree. However, if you go to just about any hardware store here, we have these things called Harbor Freight, Lowe's. You can buy these. They usually are red or blue instead of pink, is all. And these came in a big package, like 6 or 7, and the big clamps come in a package about 2. I don't think there's a single bit. There's not. My big clamps got taken out to do something else with, and I'm not sure where they're at. But they're about 4 inches. They're bigger like this. I would call this a travel journal in many respects, Amy. It started with the idea of sending my mom a postcard every day. And the first trip we went on in 2019, I was trying to find postcards that had something to do with our day. You know, see, I pulled hard and I almost tore that. And I couldn't find postcards at all that I thought were appropriate for what we had done that day. And these could leave marks if something was soft. Okay. They're pretty strong. I like them though for the things I do with them, holding my book open, things like that. Anyways, that first trip, I just couldn't find postcards that I liked. So I started making them, and it's worked out. I mean, I use travel brochures, and I mean, I would dearly love to have a printer on board, and I thought I had one, but then I found out it had to have Wi-Fi to make it work, and that doesn't work. And the little photo printers, I really don't like. I don't like how the pictures will collage down on my things. One of these days I'll find exactly what I want, and I'll get a printer. It needs to either be a photo printer or it needs to be laser, because unfortunately I use a lot of, and that's something, Amy, most of the girls know, I use a mixture of Mod Podge and Elmer's Glue All as my collage medium, and anything wet at an inkjet printer will bleed. So and HP makes a little tiny laser printer, and I ordered one, and when I got it, found out that it was going to require Wi-Fi to make it work, and we don't always have Wi-Fi. Another little thing, Amy, is that could somebody please put in Lisa's channel address? I usually stream on Sundays at 1:30 Central Time. But we're headed off to Never Neverland, and so I won't be streaming, but Lisa might stream on Sundays too. So Lisa is my partner in crime, I guess you could call it. She's a really good friend that I actually met online, and I'm going to actually get to go see her on this trip, so that's going to be fun. But she's going to try to stream in this slot. And we were together a little earlier. Lisa was here for a little while. She just had something she had to do today. We both take care of old people, and so unfortunately, sometimes things don't work out the way we want them to. But one of the girls will put in Lisa's channel address, because Lisa's fun to watch too. It's really funny. We many times think the same project, like the same thing, and go to do it, and we might even use the same supplies, and it will come out completely different. Just completely. It's thanks Barbara. We have a bunch of projects. If you're into junk journaling, on my channel there's a big playlist called Totally Junk Journal. The videos are not great, honestly. They're from early on in my channel, but we did a huge project for a long time, where all we used to, I mean, that's basically the supplies were all something that, would have gone in the trash can or maybe the recycle bin. So, and if we saw a project that someone else had done, we always give credit for that, but we sometimes would take it and do our own kind of thing with it. Lisa spins and weaves as well. I have done those things. But I don't do them much anymore. It's time. I love natural dyes, so I've played with natural dyes quite a bit. I've done that since I was, gosh, probably high school. And instead of yarn and stuff, now I'm dyeing paper. It's just one of those things. Thanks, guys, for putting on all the channels. I appreciate it. We were talking earlier about something that Julie wants to do, and so there's a few channels listed in chat that of people who do more, I would call it more art journaling than junk journaling or creating journals. They're more mixed media artists is what I guess I would call them. Robin McClendon and Tiffany from Southern Gal Designs and Willow Wanders and Lisa and I both do a lot of collage. We have not played with our jelly plates in so long. It's really sad. Oh, it's so sad. Yeah, the little books. We do usually, oh, she wasn't here when I did my little book, was she? I'll show it just a minute. Every Sunday that I'm on and I stream, I do this thing called Little Book Page. Very early on in my channel, I actually made let me pull this one down so that it's fixed and not gonna mess up. I actually made, I don't know, I sent out, I think 80 or so little tiny journals, and they're 6x9s. And just a minute, let me find out why my phone's pinging again. Okay. It's not something I need to deal with right now. Oops, then I put that right there. They're, a lot of times they're envelopes, but this one's not an envelope. It was just a piece of cardstock I had that I made a journal out of. And this is a little junk journal. It's got all kinds of papers and pages in it. And on Sunday, I pick up, kind of pick up whatever's on my table. Okay. And whatever's kind of on my table, I take and I make a page with it somehow. Okay. This one, I like this one. It has a bunch of tip-ins. It's I don't know. It's mixed media junk journal. What would you call it, Barbara? You could use these things in journals where you were going to write if you wanted to. I don't ever write in them. But like I made a tag that you could write on. This is what I did today. Okay, let me show you what was on my table. Let's see. This piece right here was on my table. These were on my table. That right there was on my table. This was on my table. So I grabbed out a couple of washi tapes. I have a drawer, a little tiny drawer behind. Yes, kind of use up your leftovers. Yeah, I have a little trash bin. I sometimes have to get, if I actually cleaned this mess up, then I would have to get in my trash bin to do my little book. Art journal. Yeah, I think it's an art journal in many ways. This was from a week or so ago. I found this book that I tore out and used to play with. It's kind of like what I was playing with, some punches on wallpaper, and so these pieces were on my table. This was actually a little tag that I think Sharon sent to me, right? I think Sharon sent it to me. And so I created this little page. Now, these were something I found in some stuff I was going through. That's an old, it's fun foam, and then it was rubber stamped. It was just, they were on my table. That's, okay, these are little leftover pieces that were on my table. That's a doodle I did. This is from I carved a stamp. It was, I made these, and somehow somebody said I needed a fish. So I went in and I found this shape that I have used for flowers, and I created a fish with the shape. That's a little embossed piece that was just on my table. But I would say that they're tiny little art journals. I have an even tinier art journal that I play in sometimes. I haven't played in this in a long time. Yeah, I like flips too, Julie. Okay, this is a itty bitty. This is a soapbox, I think is what it was. Is it a soapbox that I turned into a journal? And this journal has It's like, what do you call that? Where traveler's notebook kind of style, where they're just in, elasticed in, but the individual signatures are sewn together, so I can take it out of here to work on it if I want to. But you see, it's just made with a bunch of different tiny little things. Well, I haven't worked in this very much, but like here's one page that I did. It is tiny, tiny. Okay. I'm looking for another page. I didn't work in this very much. I love it, but I haven't worked in it very much. These are little tags. This is another page. These are a couple of pages. Okay, and these actually come out. I think that's about all the pages I've done in this book. I mean, in all honesty, these pages are tiny. And I just haven't done very much. Not because I don't want to, but just haven't had time. Another thing I haven't gotten to lately is these, and I really want to go back to these. These are just glue books, but they're done a little bit different. In this particular book, I do a one-page spread usually, and my images cover the entire page. That's just how I've worked it. And I really want, this one is actually a 2-page spread. I really wanted to use that, so I did a 2-page spread. But the images cover the entire page when I get done. This book, is this book I did upside down accidentally? Probably. In this book, I put paint down, and I do a 2-page spread. I put down paint, and then I go back in and put, yeah, I know, so journal, it's actually the signatures were actually sewn. Then I put in images on top of the paint, and it doesn't, the images don't cover the whole thing. So they're glue books, they're collage books, they're, you know, whatever you might want to call. These are just tiny itty bitty comp books. Now then, one of the problems I've had with comp books lately is that they are glued together here at the spine instead of sewn together. And if it's glued together, it does not hold up very well for this kind of work. But I really should get back. This is the one where I accidentally turned it upside down and put the page in upside down. Yep. So make sure your journal is right side up when you go to play with it. It's helpful. But I really like this. This is fun. Believe it or not, I find this more fun than this. This is a little more stressful, trying to find the way images are to make the entire page covered. At the same time, it stretches you in a different way. So, you know, I've enjoyed both. And I have learned that I do not like to work in great big journals. I like working in smaller things. The size of this, now these postcards are definitely not very artistic. They're more about what we did today than they are artistic. They really and truly are just more of a journal than anything. I have done postcard size books with different things like doodles. Yep, it just every once in a while you just do that. You put it upside down. It's the way things go. Once in a while. What do I want? What was I going to say? Okay, the 100-day project. I did something, I think, on 4x6 cards. Now, the index card project, I have done that, but I ended up cutting my own 4x6 cards because index cards to me are so thin. I just don't like them. I don't like dealing with them. The only way to use them is if you, for me, is if you are going to collage completely over them, and they're going to have a couple of layers of something on them, because otherwise they're really thin. To me, that's me. So remember what you did and saw. Yes, that's it. They're more about remembering. And sometimes this is when we're sitting and waiting for something to get fixed. Two places that we have spent an awful lot of time in the last 5 years are Red Bay, Alabama, and Elkhart. Now Elkhart, Indiana, because the new rig was built in Elkhart. So, and last year we spent extra time in Elkhart because we did go to some school. It's called boot camp. We went to this kind of training school for the Renegades, and then our friends who got a rig just like ours went to training school in the fall, and we hung out. We had to have some service work done, and then we hung out. So, it's Elkhart is one of those places. So is Red Bay. Red Bay has nothing there. Red Bay is a very small town. They are close to the, just a minute, I'll remember what it's called. It's a north-south. Oh, I can't remember what it's called. It's not the Appalachian Trail. It is. I'll remember. Anyways, we went, and it's a national area. It's a road that runs north and south. Oh well, I've forgotten. Anyways, we did travel it a couple of different days. It's hard to find things to do in Red Bay, Alabama after you've been there for a week. Hi there. I'm not going to be here much longer, Lisa. We were just having a discussion, so but I need to get going here pretty soon because I got a bunch of paperwork that I have to get done today, so that we have. But we were just talking about different kinds of journals and things that we do. So my chili is actually smelling pretty good. So I hope it tastes good when they get ready to eat it. Soon, very soon, huh? Okay. I think I'm just gonna tie this one and then put it up because I know I will not get to it before we leave. I was gonna show you, where's my bat envelope? Let's see. I was gonna see what I have to put on this one. Oh, I have some little crab. Those are brads. How am I gonna use those? What did I do for a cover? Okay, I may have to put these brads on the cover in there. I don't have a lot of stuff to tie to this one. But I have these little crabs and lobsters that I got in a scrapbook store. And we went to Maine. We spent a lot of time in Maine, Vermont, and New Hampshire for this one, for that trip. So that's why I have crabs and lobsters. Plus I have pressed pennies from like the national park. Oh, we went to the most eastern point in the United States. Errol, New Hampshire. Okay. Don't remember what's there. That's a moose, which we did not see a moose. We heard them, but we didn't ever see one. That one's a lobster. That's from probably Acadia. That's a picture of the park. That's Acadia. So yeah, it's probably going to sit right here. But I think I better do something with the strings. And usually what I do with the strings when I'm in the middle, I just take them and wrap them around like that. Just so they don't get all messed up. Not tight, just loose. And then they're waxy, so they usually stay right there. So anyways, guys, it's time for me to go. It's actually past time for me to go. I've got to I have to feed people, and I have to do paperwork, and I have to what else do I have to do? I don't remember. I don't know. I'm thinking maybe a nap would be good, but don't forget that I won't be here next Sunday, but Lisa's going to try to stream. I make no promises about trying to stream while we're gone. We do have, I do have my phone, and I will be taking stuff, but you know what happens is we're on these trips and we just don't have time. So, that's the thing. But Texas Lisa, we'll see you week after this coming one. And I'll let you know what days we're supposed to be there. Talk to you soon now. Bye, loves. Let me find. Okay, I can't find my cursor. It disappears. I think this mouse goes to sleep. Is what happened.